What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and today we got an update announcement about the upcoming weapon refines and the other things and changes we're going to be getting in October. Fallen Delthea is finally getting her refine and a lot of people have built her up. She was also present in Hall of Form, so a lot of people did get her there as well. And Fallen Delthea does have the Death Tome, which does have basically the recall damage, and I think they are probably going to be keeping that because it could, just end up helping you get into the desperation range or act as a Wings of Mercy beacon. But you definitely need quite a bit of offenses nowadays as a mage. So I'm hoping that they can give her some kind of true damage or maybe take inspiration from like Spring Delthea that we got. But I highly doubt they're fully going to be giving her all of the effects that Spring Delthea has got. But yeah, she does have the offenses but definitely needs quite a bit of speed. But grant her battle refines usually have been pretty nice. Jamke kind of reminds me of this, Fallen Delthea refine because he also didn't have the highest speed, but they just gave him such a good weapon refine, so that could also happen for Delthea honestly. And then we also have Summer Lyn, a recent unit that a lot of people did get in the Hall of Forms. So Summer Lyn does have Deep Blue Bow, which does have armor effective damage, and for beating up armor units you definitely need quite a bit of firepower, so having some true damage would be helpful. And Lyn is usually like paired up with these kinds of conditional wind sweep effects, so I think we're probably going to be seeing that, and a partial null follow-up effect to just get past the follow-up negation effects of the armor units is going to be helping her. But she definitely needs quite a bit of stuff as an effective armor killer and definitely quite a bit of firepower. Still, this is a pretty unique class as a blue bow flyer really. And then we also have Fallen Tiki. So Fallen Tiki doesn't really get used that much nowadays because she's kind of in an awkward spot because a lot of armor units are pretty much going to be run as a safe tank. And Fallen Tiki does have her preferred skill, but unfortunately, unlike Legendary Tiki, she's not going to be getting a remix here. So Solitary Dream is pretty much going to be staying like that. But I really hope that they do something unique so that her weapon refine can synergize well with Solitary Dream and make it like a better combo, because ultimately a lot of armor units already run like safe skills, so I really hope that it's something a bit more unique. And there are already like colorless dragons like Fallen Rhea and like Halloween Male Rima and even like Doom I guess, who can run far save and be really bulky with their weapon. She does unfortunately have distant counter in her weapon, so I'm not going to be having too high of hopes even though we got Brave Dimitri. But keep in mind that in that same batch we also had Sothis, so yeah, I'm definitely hoping that she gets like a good refine, because this is pretty much the chance of Fallen Tiki to become a lot better. We have two beast refines in this batch. The first one is going to be Yarne, and he could function as a good Gale Force unit if he ends up getting a pretty nice weapon refine. So he essentially gets a better special spiral when he's below 75% HP. And I say better because special spiral does not work with Gale Force, but Yarne's weapon does. So if he ends up getting some kind of special acceleration in his weapon, that could assist him in the role of being a Gale Force unit. And he does have the cavalry effective damage as well, just like his mom. So that is always going to be helpful against certain cavalry threats, which are going to be present quite a bit. But unfortunately, most of the time he's going to be having weapon strangle disadvantage against them, like Brave Salif and like Legendary Sigurd. But I'm hoping that he can get a good Gale Force refine, because I'm a huge Gale Force connoisseur, as you guys know. So Lethe pretty much just gets like extra offenses from this weapon, and they're probably going to be focusing on her speed. And they might just take inspiration from newer Lethe's weapon, but I hope that instead of providing her that damage reduction, they instead provide her with maybe like partial null follow-up, which is going to be helping her offensively, or they could just give her like flow force, the flow skills which beast units cannot have access to in her weapon, so that she could just neutralize her debuffs on attack and speed. So I hope they take the offensive route with Lethe, and she of course doesn't have the highest attack stat, so helping her with that would be pretty nice. And she does face competition from newer Kaden, who is also a 4-star focus unit on the newer banner. So hoping that she can get a good refine. And all of these units present in this batch honestly need a ton of help with their weapon, and they definitely need the weapon refines. I know this batch is going to be a bit underwhelming for some people, which were like expecting Lethe Refine or like 3 House Lords and such, or Nagi, But next month, we're definitely going to be having a lot more refines than, this month with just 5 refines. So Cynthia is going to be next in line for the Gran Turismo Battle refine after Fallen Delthea. And we could actually see our first duo unit getting their weapon refine in Halloween Hector. He definitely needs that help. Arcane and Luthnir is present, but getting that weapon refine is going to be helping him a ton. And I don't really see a reason why they wouldn't refine, these kinds of duo units, because duo units, the first ones are definitely quite tame, like Halloween Hector, for example. And we also have remix and refines for Yune and Legendary Eliwood. Finally, Yune getting her refine and remix, which she has been waiting for. And Eliwood, I would say, is still pretty nice because of his bonus doubler. So giving him like more supportive effects is going to be pretty hype. So look forward to these refines for the next month. And now we move on to our Ephemera section. So this month we have some amazing fodder. We have Halloween Dheginsea providing Sturdy Stance 3 and Slick Fighter at the same time. And Sturdy Stance 3 is an amazing skill for a lot of physical tanks because it can provide you the guard effect, which is amazing effect for any kind of tank. And I'm probably going to be giving this to my Asker because he is just so amazing with that skill, and there are just so many units you could give this skill to. And Slick Fighter is also pretty nice on a lot of armor units and safe tanks for protecting them from the debuffs, but just a heads up that do not run Slick Fighter on units who have debuff neutralization in their weapon, like Ascended Idun for example. And do not run these with like Unity skills because it is going to be having the anti-synergy with those skills. So it could be a nice skill for the slow armors, and for a lot of far safe tanks they are going to be preferring to have Hardy Fighter. So you definitely have a couple of options, like Crafty Fighter is present in the Divine Codes. Now you have Slick Fighter, so that is just amazing. And Blackfire Breath is nice, but it's not the most ideal breath, honestly. I like Lantern Breath a lot more if you're going to be giving that to a dragon. So his weapon is not the most impressive because of the solo condition, and a lot of dragons can easily be near their allies to function in the enemy phase. And I also want to give a heads up to a lot of Dheginsea fans that you could hold on to this manual and not fodder him, because there are decent chances of him being present in the Radiant Dawn Holoforms. And we have seen this many times that many units are present in the Divine Codes or in the Ephemera manuals, and later on they're present in the Holoforms. Even Halloween Dozla here was a Holoforms unit, so it does happen at times, so definitely could be something that you could watch out for. And Halloween Dozla was also a Forma unit. He does have Pumpkin a Box, which is basically a Fury Dagger. So back in the day, a lot of people would use this with Fury 4 in the Slotty skill so that they could fall into the Wings of Mercy range and essentially use any kind of dagger unit as their Wings of Mercy beacon. But I think that kind of playstyle is way past us because of the tanky units and the far safe tanks that we have. So those kinds of dagger units are usually not going to be having the firepower of killing those units. And if you're trying to use a Wings of Mercy beacon, then someone like Brave Seliph is much better, or you could just use Winter Bernadetta for your Gale Force strategies. So yeah, this weapon is not really all that great anymore. His main fodder is going to be the double rally skill, I guess, and also the ARD skill. But even as someone who really likes playing in Aether Raids, I still don't really care too much about the Aether Raids defense skill. I guess this could be given to your mythic, I guess, that you use a lot, or as your core mythic in Aether Raids defense. Last time we got an Aether Raids defense skill on Ephemera, I believe I gave it to Note. It was ARD speed defense. So probably gonna give this to my Otter, I guess. Then we have Boyd, who does provide infantry pulse, but you'll have to spend 20,000 feathers for that. And he also has a preferred weapon, and a lot of people are going to be merging him up, so this is going to be a way of you saving up some grails on that final merge. Basilu does provide you with Attack Tactic 3, so that is always a pretty nice budget skill to have. Violent, of course, does give you the Attack Defense Link skill, again a pretty nice budget skill which you can get at the same time with Smite. And Unbound Axe is pretty nice, but overall for the slow axe units, I do like Seahorse Axe of Somerset a lot more. And then we have Oscar giving the dual rally skill, which I guess is going to be useful if you're going to be inheriting the plus version of this, along with some other premium skill. And he does have Lancebreaker 3, which I guess could be nice for Arena Assault. And finally we have Satsuna with Bowbreaker, which is not really the greatest breaker skill or even the greatest budget skill. So yeah, overall I really like the batch of this month with Halloween Dheginsea. And also Halloween Dozla, I guess, just providing the free rally skill, but definitely the free tier 3 stand skill for sure. We also have some other news to talk about, especially the Holo Forms. So in the FEH channel, we did see that Holo Forms revivals are going to be a thing, and after the Tokyo Mirage Session Holo Forms, you're basically going to be able to vote for them on Twitter, similar to how the Forging Bonds revival happened. And there's a really important information that I want to cover in a video. So the thing is that we were never really able to use Forma units as a source of a merge, and that is still going to be true, but here they have explicitly stated that you can actually merge the same Forma unit together. So if you got a Kyria last time this Tokyo Mirage Session Holo Forms was a thing, you can actually merge your older Forma Kyria and the merges that you have on her with this new Kyria that you could get with like updated skills. I'm definitely going to be making a video on that. But that is absolutely amazing. So if you got any of these as Forma units in previous times, then you can just merge up your Forma with that updated new Forma unit. Again, you can only merge Forma into Forma. You cannot really kill a Forma unit for their skills. You can still not merge a Forma unit into a gold border unit. So both of them need to be Forma and basically have the blue border, which is a pretty big news, honestly. So this is going to be really nice for a lot of people to just update their Forma unit that they got many months ago or even years ago. Holoforms revivals are also accompanied by the Spark banner of these units. So you could just Spark for the unit after 40 summons and at least get +1 merge. Of course, Grail units are not going to be appearing in these Spark banners because even in the new power banners, whenever the Grail units get a refine, they do not show up as a summonable unit. That's pretty much their thing. So yeah, don't really expect summonable Grail units or anything like that. But yeah, Spark is, I guess, nice if you just want to, get a merge on your new Forma unit. And I'm finally hoping that this doesn't really affect the, the regular Forma schedule. So we could maybe have 2 Holo Forms, similar to how we could have 2 Forging Bonds in a same month when the revival is there. This Holo Forms is going to be starting on 9th October. So I'm hoping that this could end before like the Path of Radiance Holo Forms. And I hope that Path of Radiance Holo Forms is not like put on the next month. So yeah, double Holo Forms is definitely going to be pretty nice. And they have also done some changes to Binding Worlds, which a lot of people did like as a game mode. So you can just check the heroes that you have swapped, and it will be a lot easier to get your friends' heroes as a swappable unit. You can also send a friend request to the swapped unit that you have right now, and if you haven't really added them. So this is a really nice way of increasing the friend units for a lot of people if they like the unit or the build of the person who has made that unit and they just swapped with it. And the heroes will always have their like the highest level default skills. Like previously you could only get like lower level skills if they were like low level units, so this is pretty nice. And they're also going to be adding like 3 more stages, which is going to be pretty hype. So I guess the level of the enemy units could go up to like 90 or something. I believe last time it was like 70. Your own units can pretty much go over that level, so I'm pretty excited for the extra stages because I honestly found it a pretty fun game mode. So Summoner Duels is also being updated, and this is going to be a pretty nice news for a lot of people that just want to get their rewards, which are logged behind the favor levels. So on the weekends, you're going to be able to get +10 favor after each battle. So at max, you can increase like 30 favor level in a single battle, which is going to be pretty good for grinding up for those rewards. So this is pretty much them trying to make Summoner Duels a more active game mode, because right now it's definitely a barren land. Unless like Summoner Duels R or Summoner Duels S is upcoming, then people just test out their team. But a lot of times it's really hard to find the matches and takes like so much time. The wait times are ridiculous. So yeah, weekends are pretty much going to be the time to play Summoner Duels for those sweet rewards. And honestly, I think rewards are definitely worth getting. They have Dragon Flowers, they have like Divine Dews, so I definitely grind them up. And I do like Summoner Duels as it is, so this is still pretty nice though, just for grinding up the favor level of your favorite unit. And they're also making it so that if your opponent surrendered or disconnected during the favor battles, you're gonna be able to get a lot more favor level now, but you at least need to like score 1 point to at least get this. And the opponent's captain skill is actually going to be visible outside of the replays, which is really nice to get. And then the max favor level is going to be increasable to 2400, which is definitely pretty nice. And there's also a pretty nice setting here. So you can basically select as a custom rule to have level 40 no support. And level 40 pretty much means that it is going to be eliminating any kind of like merges of your opponents and your own. So all of the units participating in the favor level of your opponent and yourself are going to be acting like unmerged units, and whatever their original bane was, it is going to be available in that battle. And no support pretty much means that the people who have FEH pass, they could usually run like 5 summoner support across their entire Summoner Duels team, so that is not going to be a thing. You can disable that through custom, rules, which is definitely pretty nice. The first Summoner Duels tournament that we had, well, we pretty much had this rule actually, because FEH pass is definitely a pretty big thing. So those stats can definitely change a couple of matchups. So if you don't really want to face like plus 10 units, you can just turn on this custom rule, I guess, which is pretty nice for, I guess, increasing the enjoyment of many people. But keep in mind that you're pretty much going to be fighting with raw stats, so units are going to be having better stats, essentially. So many of the units do enjoy merges quite a bit, and a lot of units can work on merge as well offensively. So yeah, those were all of the Summoner Duels changes. Oh yeah, their new captain skill, almost forgot. Might of Myriads. This is such a strong captain skill. So it can grant you plus 6 to all of your stats to your captain during the combat, and your captain essentially gets distant counter and close counter. So they can just retaliate back to the enemy regardless of their range. And this is not going to be working if your captain has got a safe skill. So this is mainly going to be useful for the raid bosses. And raid boss is pretty much a type of unit that you boost up with like bonus doubler, a lot of stats, a lot of support with like legendary Eliwood, debuffs from your allies, maybe some long range support or like Fallen Lilith providing them null follow up. So raid bosses basically stack up a lot of stats and effects to be basically an killable type of unit. And this is mainly going to be useful on those kinds of units. So just imagine Legendary Dimitri with like Vital Astra plus 10 merge, Speed Smoke 4, null follow up from Fallen Lilith, having this kind of captain skill. Asker is going to be an amazing user of this. Imagine Brave Seliph being able to kill ranged units, still running his slotty skill. Legendary Marth, of course, is stacking up so many stats. So it is going to be useful for the raid bosses, and this is definitely going to be a skill that you have to look out for. And I guess this is going to be a lot better in like Summoner Duels S, where you could ban certain teams and certain raid bosses. So definitely a pretty strong captain skill for that kind of playstyle, which a lot of people do enjoy. And definitely saw quite a bit of that last time in Summoner Duels S, where Legendary Dimitri was the bonus unit. Aether Raids also has some changes. So in the Chaos season, there is a rule that you need to get the kill with the bonus unit to pretty much get the max lift that you can get. Because you're just so used to the regular Aether Raids and not getting the bonus kills. But in the Chaos season, you need to get the kill with the bonus unit to get the max lift. So now you can actually see that here. So it is going to be keeping a track of that. And it also has a nice little icon with the Chaos season symbol. So definitely like this, honestly, because a lot of people, even though they're really competitive, did just, miss the bonus kills just because it slipped their mind. Panic Manor is going to be upgradable to level 10. And we're going to be having the Mind of Izuka as one of the songs added into the concert hall. And also the Leon song from Sacred Stones, basically his theme. And Rickard and Geralt are going to be added into the rail pool. Geralt is definitely a merge project that a lot of people are going to be trying to build up because of his preferred weapon. And they also have some other changes. So you're going to be able to search up the skill name in the inheritance pretty much. And you can kind of already do this with filters and stuff. But I guess it's a lot more easier now if you're trying to search a skill. And they've actually changed the illustration or the artwork of the special damage art of Flying Nino. For some reason, I don't know what what basis they decide who to change the art of. Maybe the artist decides that. But basically the minute change that they have made is that her eyebrows are a bit different. So she appears a little more aggressive and angry in her updated art, but that's a really small change. So definitely looking forward to a lot of the Hall of Forms revivals. Let me know what you think about this update in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like. It really helps me a lot, and if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes show my videos as many times as the amount of big changes that you can see on Nino's art change. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.